before we do that, I do want to bring in very quickly my guest for this hour, trial attorney Michael Jaafar, who is standing by. Michael, in this case, the medical examiner is talking about punching, bruising, and we expect he's going to talk about strangulation being the cause of death. Does that point to a stranger coming in this home or someone who personally knew this victim?
Because of that 911 call and because of the fact that he told them that, I found her in the bathtub, because of all of that combined, the prosecution are going to be able to easily tie this to, her husband, right? They're going to be able to prove that he had the motive, he had the means, and they've already introduced evidence that she'd been dead for a long time since before he found her. So she may have been dead from the night before. So I don't, the defense, I'm really interested to see what the defense is going to levy. Perhaps you're right, Julia, the only option they have is to levy a defense that there was a stranger. We've seen that happen. I'm really interested to see what they do, but that would be their only shot. They're definitely not going to be able to prove that she drowned, for sure. So it's either somebody else did it or he did it. That's it.
Right, and we'll see if the medical examiner's testimony, if it's going to point to just murder of this victim, or if there's something that he's going to testify to that will point to David Tronis. We'll get in a break, and there'll be more of that testimony on the other side. Let's bring in trial attorney Michael Jaafar, who is standing by. Michael, we're hearing this all-important testimony from the medical examiner. The word strangulation really key here, because blunt force trauma is one thing, especially when we know what the defendant has said to police, but strangulation, something totally different.
Completely agree, and it's so emotional to hear this testimony. They're taking you through a blow-by-blow analysis of the last moments of this poor woman. And then the police officer just saying that, interviewing him and saying, you cried, you gave fake tears here for 7 hours. You didn't shed one tear. You pretended to cry for 7 hours. This is a muscular man. It's a big man. He had the motive. I don't see what the defense is going to be. Look, from my days as a court-appointed defender, and I'm not saying he is a public defender, I would be given cases by judges and they said, this person is entitled to a defense. You got to defend this person. And sometimes I'd have clients who didn't listen to me and wanted to pursue a path that I thought was terrible, right? So I would chalk this up to the category of the defense attorneys here. This is the worst of the worst in defending a person because you have almost no options. I'm very curious to see what they come up with. But yeah, this is very, very jarring to listen to. And her ear almost pulled off. Her eyes are gone. Yeah. He got deep into her tissue and the bones. It's sad.
It really is sad all around. Michael Jaafar, thank you so much for your analysis. We are going to get you to a break, and then we'll get back in for more from that formal medical examiner and testimony of how the victim in this case was fighting back.